Hey, thanks so much for tuning into the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. We are continuing on the book of Proverbs. Today, we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 13. So if you guys have your Bibles, I'm going to be reading two different verses, verse 10 and then verse 20. But I want to encourage you to read the entire chapter as you will continue to gain godly wisdom and you understand the foolishness of this world. Before I read verse 10, I want you to think about this. Have you ever thought about what the root of conflict is? Think about that. Maybe we're dealing with conflict right now. And maybe if you're somebody who wants to avoid conflict at all costs, you just or maybe you, when conflict arises, you kind of sweep it under the rug. You know, we've all kind of done that sometimes. But think about what you feel the root of all conflict might be. Let's see if you were right. Verse 10 says this: pride leads to conflict. Pride leads to conflict. Those who take advice are wise. Think about that. You know, any type of conflict that you have experienced, maybe think about the conflict that you're going through right now. Maybe there's tension in a relationship, a friendship, or a spouse, or son, or daughter, or father, mother, whatever it may be, a neighbor. Think about that and think about the root of it. The other person, or maybe it's yourself. There is pride welling up in that person, and that leads to conflict. And so how can we combat conflict? That's humility. That is choosing to let go of our pride, choosing to humble ourselves. When we choose to do that, we'll understand now if it's somebody that we have the pride, then when we let that go, we see the perspective a little bit different. We see with clearer eyes. We are putting our contacts in, our glasses on, and we're like, whoa, I was seeing things blurry. I was confused, but now there is clarity. Also, too, maybe the other person is the one who is exhibiting pride, and you don't know how to handle it. When you choose to even humble yourself in that stance, you understand, and you probably will have sorrow and compassion and empathy on that other person because they are choosing to have conflict due to their pride. And a lot of times people mask their pride with their insecurity. And so many times we feel bad about ourselves based off of what people are saying, or they're initiating conflict. What it really is, it's not really more about you, but it's more about them. I'm a firm believer is that when people are talking about leadership, when people are talking about other people, it has nothing to do with that other person. It actually speaks more volumes to you, the person who's actually talking. So let's choose to be wise and let's listen to advice, as the second half of verse 10 says. Those who take advice are wise. Now, how can we do that? How can we gain godly wisdom? How can we, continue to live a life that is worthy of God's calling in our life? Well, listen to verse 20. It says this: walk with the wise and become wise. Associate yourself with fools and you will get into trouble. You know, I had a youth pastor say this to me as I was in youth ministry. He says, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. I say it this way too, that you are the average of the 5 closest friends in your life. So if you want to change who you are, you want to become wiser, you want to have better influence in your life, influences in your life, change who you hang out with. It's as simple as that. That's what you need to do. I am intentional with the people in my life. I talked about this earlier this week, that I've got people in my life that I can be open, I can be honest with, that I choose to have people in my life, mentors in my life, that are a little bit further along than me in my leadership, my experience. Why? Because I want to become wise. How can I do that? I need to walk with the wise because I don't want to associate myself. I don't want to get into trouble. So that way I have to disassociate myself with people that are going to lead me down to a path of destruction. So how about you? Do you have the right people in your life that is going to lead you into the path of righteousness instead of destruction? Only you can answer that. And only you can change who you hang out with. Only you can change who influences you. So I want you to think about that and go to the Lord and ask for boldness. If you're making some choices there, you might be hurting some feelings. However, you need to do this for yourself. You need to become wiser, and you need to do that by associating yourself with wise people. May God bless you, and may He give you favor as you choose to make those wise decisions today. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth.